A Russian rocket strike on a railway station killed 25 people, Ukraine says, on the day marking 6 months since Moscow's invasion began. Officials said 5 of the victims of the attack in the eastern town of Chaplina burnt to death in a vehicle. 2 boys, aged 6 and 11, were also killed. A further 31 people were hurt. Russia said it hit a military train, killing hundreds of Ukrainian troops, but Ukraine has made no mention of military deaths in the strike. President Volodymyr Zelensky reported the strike during a UN Security Council meeting and said Russia would pay the price for the attack. Japan's police chief has said he will resign over the killing of the former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Itaru Nakamura, head of the National Police Agency, said he wanted to take responsibility for the July the 8th shooting. An investigation has found there were serious flaws in how the ex-Prime Minister was protected. Mr. Abe was shot while speaking at a political campaign event in the city of Nara. A Pakistani court has extended former Prime Minister Imran Khan's pre-arrest bail for 1 more week in a terrorism case over a speech shortly after the former premier appeared in court. The former premier maintained after the hearing that he said nothing wrong in the speech last week. Khan's lawyer later said bail had been granted until September the 1st. Police filed charges on Saturday against the former cricket star and national team captain Khan over what they said was a threat when he spoke about police torture of an aide who faces sedition charges for inciting mutiny in the military. Floods triggered by incessant rains in central India have battered most of the region, destroying crops and paralysing everyday life for many. Farmlands, as well as residential areas, were seen submerged in floodwaters after heavy rains caused the Betwa River to overflow in the city of Vidisha. Farmers said that almost all of the crops had been destroyed because of the heavy rainfall, and hundreds of hectares of agricultural land, mainly wheat, was underwater. Around 300 villages have been affected by the floods. Meanwhile, Typhoon Maon has brought heavy rains and flash floods to southern China. Vehicles were seen moving through roads inundated in floodwater in Hainan province. Maon had made landfall earlier in the day, first in the southern province of Guangdong, with wind speeds of up to 73.8 miles per hour recorded by the provincial meteorological station. The 9th cyclone of the season was thought to be weakening and had been downgraded to a tropical storm. The iconic Levante cloud that drapes over the Rock of Gibraltar provided a stunning backdrop as flights arrived and departed below the rock into Gibraltar International Airport. Time-lapse video posted by the local Met Office in Gibraltar, a British overseas territory between southern Spain and Morocco, shows the cloud as an EasyJet plane takes off. According to the Met Office, the Levante cloud is produced by an easterly wind which brings warm, moist air from the Mediterranean, which condenses over the rock, creating a persistent veil of cloud that hangs over it. And finally, Ivory Coast has created the country's first locally made smartphone, which aims to improve accessibility with voice commands in local languages for users who can't read or write. The phone, called OpenG, went on sale last month in the West African country. It can understand commands and respond in 16 of Ivory Coast's approximately 60 spoken languages.
Bonjour. Donc, on va choisir le Jula.
The founder said he was inspired to create the phone after watching his parents, who are illiterate, struggle to use a smartphone. OpenG's developers said they've already sold several thousand units after only a few months on the market. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel studios in Lagos.